I'm in the middle of building a scheme to JavaScript converter. I'm taking Nils Holm's scheme in Prolog and scheme and trying to convert it in small steps to JavaScript. So I begin by reading the text file, then I undo the back quotes, which are macro calls. I undo quotes, single quote marks, turn into lists. I do renaming of things that are illegal in JavaScript but legal in Lisp in Scheme. And then I've got a formatter that picks up on various kinds of statements and puts new lines in the right places. And then down here, I've got a bunch of probes that tap into the various parts of the process. If I go and try to run this, I do make back quote tester. And here we see here's from probe B, probe C, probe D, which we saw on the diagram, B, C, and V. And then we see the final output, and probe A is up here. Then we see the final output from the test file. The test file is a big PQ test.scheme. There we go. It's these things. I've commented this out because it gives a syntax error as it's supposed to. And these are the results that I expect, that a back quote A should give me a quote A. And we see that it's not doing it correctly. So I'm going to try to debug that. And since I want to only concentrate on this unback quoting thing, I'm going to drive this output directly into the output of all that other stuff. Skip all the other parts. They won't do anything because they're not getting any inputs. So I should expect to see something on probe A, something on probe B. I should see, whoops, I put it in the wrong place. I want to put it on the statement formatter. There. I should see the unback quoted stuff zipping over to the new line inserter, and then I should see some output. And I shouldn't see anything from these two probes, C and D, because there's no input. That one won't fire, and because that one doesn't fire, that one doesn't fire, and it doesn't feed anything into the statements. The stuff into statements comes from this front end here. So we'll save that, meta S, go back to the clear, and then we'll do make BQ and see what happens. There we go. There's the output from probe A. Output from probe B as expected. And then the final formatted output, which is still wrong because I haven't fixed anything. I've only rerouted things. So let's look at this first one. List quote A. We're feeding in a back quote atom here. So let's look at DQ on back quote.RWR. Here we'll look at on back quote.Ohm. So this is the grammar window, and this is the rewrite of the stuff that we get from the grammar. I'll try to make them moderately the same. There, so we should be getting back quote atom. So we were saying a program is one or more SCMs, schemes. I thought I renamed that to Sexpert, but I probably did that in only one place. And a scheme is either a list. Ohm differentiates between lexical and syntactic rules by the capitalization of the rule name. List is capitalized. You can't use a syntactic rule inside a lexical rule without this syntax around it, saying, I know that I'm breaking the rules, let me apply it anyway. So it's either a big capital list or a lowercase atom. In this case, it's a lowercase. Oh no, it's a list. And a list breaks down into a back quote, BQ scheme. So why don't we try to take this and stuff it into the Ohm-editor, and then we'll put in the example back quote A and see what it breaks down into. So we get what we expect. It goes to here, goes to the back quoted rule. So you can see I'm hovering over this one and it's lighting up back quoted. It's lighting up this. No, it's lighting up this branch, this leg of the list rule. There it is. It's moved it around on me. So we go back to here, list back quoted. That says there's a back quote followed by another scheme thingy. To read there, a BQ scheme thingy, which then it inverts the meaning of all this stuff. So it should go to here, BQ list atom, does an atom, so it finds the atom, and then BQ list atom. So how do we rewrite that? BQ list atom down here, and we say quote A. That's correct. But we're also sticking in let's change the comment of all of these. See what we're getting. And make it, and it gets list quote A for some reason. Why is that list? So the problem here is this looks correct. The quote A looks correct, but the list around it doesn't look correct. So where am I inserting an extra list that I shouldn't be? Here. Not here. So that probably, that should just take whatever comes in. That's more like it. There we go. So now we're getting the quote A only. Now if we expand the number of tests, we'll do the next test in line. Here. And then we make it. And what do we see here? We should see the first one should go to a quote A, which it does down here. And the second one should just result in A, which it does. That looks correct. So let's go for more testing. Quote list of A. So we'll clear and run it again. And that goes to quote A. No, that's wrong. List quote A. That's what we expect. What should be happening here is that a back quote inverts the meaning of all the evaluations inside a list, so that if you've got a list with an unquoted atom inside of it, it should quote the atom and then return a list of it. The list function creates a list of whatever's inside, and it should create a quote A for the A and then list it. And that's not what we're seeing down here. It's just giving us a quote A. So we'll go back to the grammar and we'll stick in a back quote A. Okay, so now what does it say? What does it see here? It goes to back quoted as it should. And then the BQ scheme goes to back quoted list. So what have we got in that? So here, in in the back quoted list, that's the one we're looking at here. And here, I am explicitly dropping the left parenthesis and the right parenthesis and returning only the S. And what I really wanted is the left parenthesis and the right parenthesis. I've just hard coded them in. And now let's clear and on the test again. Oh, I forgot to put the list in here. That should say list of that stuff. Again, list quote. Okay, those three look correct. EQ test, yeah, up to here. From those three look correct. So let's go one further. What should this return? This should say a list of A, quote B, quote C, which it appears to do. Well, let's see what it does. I've commented it here. Let's clear here. And on the test again. I can't separate out the city. Clear and run the test again. No, that's wrong. What's wrong here? Each of those should be BQ to produce something. In BQ scheme, a BQ scheme, BQ list. Okay, let's put that one into grammar. We'll see what it breaks down into. BQ list, it goes to an atom. It's because of space skipping, it skipped this space and that space, so it sees a single atom, A, B, C, and it's accepting all those. Civic char, any, not a special char. That should contain a space. Now what happens? There we go, atom. Right, so now we'll put that into lead cram for this thing. I'm pretty sure I've had it. It's okay. See here. That should be null space. Now we'll go back to the test here, and then bring the test again. And list quote A. I'm looking at this bottom line here. List quote A, quote B, quote C. It looks okay. And then we'll do the last one. No, we will not that last one. But I'll give just that. We'll do this one. So this one is up here, and it should say quote the A, the comma B, don't quote the B, and then quote the C. So list of quote A, not quoted B, and quote of C. So let's see what happens here. Clear on the test again. I forgot this. Let's do that. Those look correct now.